Well, Nabila Ramdani is a journalist specialising in the Middle East and Arab affairs, and she's with me in the studio now. Very good evening to you, Nabila. It's no great surprise that the monitoring mission has been suspended, is it? After Saudi Arabia and other Arab Gulf states withdrew a number of days ago, the credibility of that mission was seriously undermined, wasn't it?
Yes, very much so. And it has to be said that the effectiveness of the Arab League mission has been compromised from the start, really. The horrifying fact that you have people dying day after day in spite of the mission, observers being on the ground since last December last year, proves it. Remember also that the observers were never peacekeepers. They were untrained, unarmed, and often extremely controversial people. Mustafa Al-Dabi was the head of the mission, was a former Sudanese general with close ties to a regime which has been accused of genocide in Darfur. So the credibility of the mission was very much tarnished from the start.
What does its suspension mean for President Assad? Because his critics had said that, he was using the presence of the mission to buy time, effectively.
Very much so, and I was able to interview a former member of the mission recently who told me that the members of the mission were threatened with death for reporting the atrocities which are happening in Syria at the moment, which probably led the observers to issue a report suggesting that there was a decrease in the number of casualties in some of the conflict areas. Now, of course, President Bashar al-Assad is determined not to find a peaceful resolution to what's happening in Syria. He's already rejected the Arab League plans for him to step down and hold elections, and predictably his foreign minister have labelled all this a foreign conspiracy to destabilise the country.
So moving on then to the wider discussions that are happening at the United Nations in New York, what impetus, if any, does the suspension of the monitoring mission give to those talks and obviously the attempt to get some sort of resolution on Syria?
Well, the Arab League seems to be unified this time in pushing for action, pushing for the UN Security Council to take urgent action. Now, the key to a UN resolution will, of course, be Russia, but Russia has proven to be an ally of Syria. But it is sending mixed messages at the moment. On one hand, it is calling for Syria to find a peaceful solution to what's going on in Syria, but on the other hand, it's also selling arms to Syria. But we know also that Russia will do everything it possibly can to stop a military intervention in Syria as well.
So briefly, any chance that Russia will change its position in any way?
No, I don't believe so. It's made it abundantly clear that they would like to avoid a Western-style intervention as we've seen in Libya.
OK, Nabila, thank you very much. Nabila Ramdani there.